What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? How are y'all doing this Sunday, beautiful Sunday morning? Sorry, I'm taking me a little sip of water right now. I was just getting a little choked up. Y'all let me know in the comments if you can hear me all right. Awesome. Sharon's getting her images ready for class tonight. Awesome, awesome. Now, I don't typically do design sessions on the weekends. I try to limit myself a little bit on the weekends because preparing for the classes are pretty heavy. But this particular project was sitting on my heart, and I happen to need to do it for a client and for somebody else that we all know and love very dearly. So we're going to work on this a little bit today. We're still going to have class today at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, I'm just going to close out some of these windows because I know how this screen share and live streaming goes. All right, so it looks like y'all have sound. Good deal, good deal. And you all let me know what you're doing Tuesday. Tuesday, I want to do a round table type of deal and see if I can get some folks on StreamYard to talk about large format printing, some of the hang-ups, some of the systems and equipment that we're using. So I made a post on the Innate Creatives Facebook group. I'm gonna see if I can bring it on over. Let's see here. My baby Erica. And so Erica's gonna be here with us momentarily as well. She's not already here. So y'all please pray for Erica. That's our admin. She really goes hard for you all. She really does. And now she's just needing our support and our love. Nothing that we can't afford to give. So we're praying for you, E. We love you. We appreciate you. And we're definitely here for you, okay? Awesome. So Victoria was able to get the one when I posted the sale. Cool. I'm gonna see if where is that post that I made, y'all. This is why I made it to where nobody else can post in the group, because I would like lose myself in these posts. Let me see here. Let's see. And even those that said that they need one, I want y'all to be aware I would like to have a class on this. So let me edit this. Okay. Let's see, I need a photo of your press and printer and a, what are we gonna call these? Because I don't want to make it exclusive to Tuesdays. Let's call these sessions, because sometimes they end up being more than just business sessions. Sometimes we end up using them as therapy sessions, telling stories, all of that stuff. Let's do, the KISS. I like the KISS. That reminds me of my dad too. He would always tell me to keep it simple, Shannon. So we're gonna do, so this is gonna be a keep it simple sublimator, right? If you are able and willing to video chat with us on, let's do Tuesday at 8 p.m. I think 8 p.m. might work for most folks. Maybe some people on the Pacific Coast might have an issue with that, but it's Tuesday. Usually Tuesdays is probably my least busiest day. Monday is stuff that's piled up from the weekend. Fridays are really bad because that's usually you getting out all your last minute orders. Thursday builds up to Friday. So usually Tuesday, Wednesdays, I think are a time during the week where we may have make a little time for one another. Okay, so let's do Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I want you to post a photo of your printer and press, and please believe me, we are not judging. We're all trying to see where we all are, where we've come from, and where we want to go. And I'm trying to use this platform to not only just, you know, to show off my talents. That's not what this platform is for. It's really so that we can build our businesses. And one of the great things about building business is that if you have a network, if you have mentors, if you even have people who want to do what you're doing currently, so you have people who want to follow what you've already done, it creates this community where we can use our experiences rather than paying for them each. And you know, if we all got the same tuition, then we're all paying a pretty hefty price to learn. So what I would like to do is start doing these weekly sessions where it's something that you all are obviously interested in, which is large format printing. Let's talk about it. Let's get together and understand what type of presses. Maybe you can't get this one in your house. You might have to get it in the garage. Maybe this one requires commercial space because of the way it's set up, or it requires you to have an electrician come out and install the 3-phase type of setup. Whatever the situation and questions that we may have, this one is going to be all about large format printing. So let's do, this is going to be a StreamYard. Now StreamYard is good for this. It's been giving me problems as far as sharing my Photoshop screen because it competes for resources, but StreamYard is great for doing a video conference. Let's call it video roundtable. Okay, so we'll do a StreamYard video roundtable. We're gonna initially right now I just need you to push your printer and press and keep it simple, sublimator, and then I need your email. Okay, so we'll just put your email because y'all don't have to do all the extra stuff. I know what y'all want to do, and your email so that I can invite you. Email and or your cell phone, because I can send you a link to your cell phone, or I can send you a link to your email. Probably just be best email because y'all can get y'all's emails on your cell phone. I don't want y'all to put y'all cell phone numbers out there because you know sometimes our folks will be ready to bug you. You put your information out there. So in your email, so put your email, picture the photo, a photo of your press and printer setup. You might have a large format press, but then a small format printer, or vice versa. You might have a large format printer like I do right now, and I have a small format. I have a 16 by 20 press, but I'm even looking to expand and get a bigger press. So I see this as a perfect opportunity for us to talk about what we have, what we're looking forward to, what are the pitfalls, because I'm checking out a couple of presses right now. One of them is this press, and then they have a pneumatic version of this press, which is just extremely expensive. This one in and of itself is about $9,000. And then there are a few that are what I want to check out. They're single phase. They have to be hardwired in. They're about they're about $5,000, but they are pneumatic and they have the dual tables. So I think this is the perfect opportunity for us to talk about these things. I know a lot of us are really getting excited about the all over market, and I want us to have some type of discussion about that. So let me know what you all think. I know we're here to design right now, but I want to go ahead and put that out there before we get to that. All right, so StreamYard video roundtable. So photo of your press and printer and your email. And let me put "and" in all caps. I don't mean to yell at y'all, but you know, sometimes I got to get a point across. So we're going to do the link for the video chat. Tuesday will be emailed. Okay, so if I can spell email properly, there we go. I'll just put video roundtable because some people don't know what StreamYard is. I'm trying to be more concise with how I explain stuff. I be writing y'all paragraphs, and sometimes y'all only read the first sentence, and I understand why. All right, so video roundtable. I need a photo of your press and printer and your email. The link for the video chat for Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be emailed. All right, so y'all comment on that. Please, please, please. And this is also an opportunity for us to talk about some of the issues that we've been having with some of these systems. I don't need everybody to pretend like everything is perfect. I will tell you right now that I end up with issues doing my 16 by 20 press, and that's why I'm interested in getting a bigger press. But I will also share with you some of my solutions to while I'm doing the 16 by 20 press. What are some of the supplies that I'm using to help mitigate those lines and uneven pressure and that sort of thing. So I can show y'all my I use this Nomex felt. It's really thick, half an inch thick Nomex felt on my board, and it's been helping tremendously with the uneven pressure and those voided areas you get when pressing. So I see, hopefully Tony's a really good guy, and he has a lot of experience in this area. So hopefully Tony can join us. Let me see if I can respond to some of these. Will you be able to join us live? What is Tuesday? Tuesday is 4/27. Y'all excuse my copying and pasting, but I'm a efficiency person. So, boom, boom. And Tony is my design twin, so I have to address him a little differently. And he's been doing a group with the cut and sew as well. So hopefully, oh, also let me see. Also, would you be able to talk about cut and sew? There's who else is with him with the cut and sew group, the sub so hard. She's a sweetheart too. I have to sit. Natasha, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna see if I can get her on too. All right, so see if everybody could chime in. California's probably still going to be in work mode, but maybe they can still chime in with us. All right. And then that way, if y'all have like, Shamar has an extra press that maybe she's trying to get rid of. If that's the case, then maybe we can talk about that. And that exchange can happen. We say we got to be able to use our influence and our connections to move each other. All right, so you need one, but I'm sure y'all will come live if y'all need one. Right. Okay, and I see LC's got the printer on there too. Come on, LC. All right, need one. And see, there are a lot of people talking about they need one. I am looking to get one as well. And I think this information and research that I'm doing right now would do well for all of us, especially if we can talk about it, okay? Natasha, yes. Natasha Rogers. Cool. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can tag her in this. Let's just see. Y'all know I don't stay on this Facebook too much. Natasha Rogers. Okay. And that's a really big thing too. Like that's the next step. And I have I've been looking into some cut and sew stuff, and I even got me a little sewing machine again. So for those of you who don't know, I started in textiles. Actually, I started in fashion design, then went into textiles for my bachelor's degree. Ended up getting my bachelor's and my first master's in textiles. So, and then I went on to engineering. So doing high performance materials, engineering, industrial engineering, manufacturing, human factors, ergonomics, all of that good stuff until eventually I ended up with a PhD in industrial engineering as well. So a lot of this stuff is not just a craft or a hobby to me. It really is something that I want to build a life doing and teaching. So I know that is how it is for the majority of you too. So yeah, let's use these experiences to help one another. All right, so I'm going to let that simmer for a bit. I just wanted to take care of that because y'all know me. If I put it on my list of things to do, it will get done like 3 years from now, okay? So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and make this video. As soon as I get off of here, I'll make that video for Tuesday. Basically make a reminder for you all. So you can chime into it, set your... what is it called? I think it's like an alarm that you can set, or a reminder that you can set, and it will let you know when we're going to do that. So, and thank you all. Thank you all. I have to express all of my gratitude to you all for not only just supporting, but being present and letting us know what it is that you need to make your businesses successful. So, thank you for being here. And we're going to go ahead and get started on this design today. Now, this one was special to me because I wanted to do something with like hearts and that sort of thing. I'm going to do something a little bit different. So, let's see here. I'm going to go to my photos. Oh, and my baby already cut out the images. Oh. Okay, so E, this one is for you. I'm going to go ahead and download these images. I see you already cut the background out. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and download those. So I'm thinking I may make this one an Academy asset for those of you who are interested. Y'all let me know if y'all want this for the Academy, because basically y'all know at the Academy y'all have first dibs on everything. Y'all are my inspiration, the reason why I'm running the way I'm running right now. So I like to give y'all basically first dibs on any project that we're working on, anything that I'm thinking about doing differently. I know we've been set on the graduation route because that's what's really pressing right now, but I think that this one would be really good too. So y'all let me know if y'all want this one for next week for the Academy. Then I don't want you to buy it if you're the VIP member and you're already going to take the class. Then I'll make this a template for class and you won't have to buy it, okay? Oh, LaQuisha says yes. All right, LaQuisha, I'm listening. Okay, so this one is gonna say gone but not forgotten. And E, I want you to let me know what message do you want to put on there, because of course I have forever. Let me read and see if I have a message yet. But I have forever in our hearts, of course. Let me turn on our guidelines here so we can make sure we stay in there. Let me know what message you want to see, because I know this one's real personal to you, and I want to make sure that we make this message fit for you. All right. And then we'll make this a custom color scheme, and I'm even gonna make this one a smart color as well. So we got a lot cooked up in this. Y'all get to see how I make smart colors. So those of you who have been wanting to see that process, you get to see it today. Forever in our hearts, perfect. And then sometimes we don't necessarily even want a message. We just want to like put our loved one's name and just memorialize them that way. So I'm going to duplicate this group, and then I'm going to focus on just putting the name. And I typically like to use the script text, but we'll put it in either one and you tell me which one you like, E. So this one, that's the script. And then I'm going to also do it in the straight text here. And then we'll figure out which one looks better for us. And I'm going to line these up right smack dab in the middle. And I think I'll leave both of these on here, depending on what your project might be. Maybe you want one or the other. Here we go. And then I'm going to change the dates here. And normally what I do for the dates, I just put spaces between it just to give me an idea how far I need these apart in order to fit my design. I think that looks good. All right. And as far as color scheme go, give me an idea of what color scheme you want to see for this, E. And I forgot that I'm not looking at my chat right now. Yeah, and it's good to have these options too. It's a lot for people, and this type of project is something that you can pour your heart into, and you can really show people how much you care and the compassion that goes into it. You give them your thoughtful reasoning for things, and a lot of times the stuff that they don't even think about, but it matters to them that you think about this for them. Okay, all right, so we're going to go with the straight text. Got it. And then I'm going to, because it's a little bit smaller, I'm going to shrink down the gold a little bit and make it a little bit thicker with the color. So let's go to that. And right now I'm just going to do a straight up color overlay of a gray so that I can do a stroke of that same gray. And then I'm going to do my, I've been doing my little trick lately with the smart colors. So I'm going to show you all how I would build this to be a smart color template. So that basically once you choose your colors once, you won't have to keep choosing those colors over and over again for everything that you can change colors for. So let's do that. And then I will make this one 10. There we go. That makes it stand out a little bit more. And then I'm just pasting the layer style that I created just so I could see it on all levels. And then we can kind of go from there with what we need to do next. Now this In Our Hearts is already a pretty thick script font, so I'm going to take that stroke off, and everything else looks good there. And one more thing here. I'm going to make this text grayed out so then we can kind of pick our colors from there. And paste that hex code there. There we go. And make sure that I chose the right thing here. It's got a stroke on it. Okay. That's what it is. Let's take the stroke and make it gray. There we go. Perfect. All right, all right, all right. So you take your time and just let me know what color do you think would be a good reference here. And you don't have to know the exact color because you know I'll play with it for you. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I like the rainbow here. We'll be able to turn it off and on, but what's really odd is that this rainbow was a part of a design I did a long time ago, and I was supposed to make a template like literally, this was probably almost a year ago. I don't know how long it was when I made this template, and I was supposed to do something to it. I was supposed to clean it up or do something to it, and I never put it out there. I made a sample chart of it, but I never put it out there. And today a client asked to do, one of our fellow creatives asked to do one, and it had a rainbow on that design. And then this situation, I think our rainbow is relevant too, just because it speaks about that beauty that you get to capture in life. But every time I see a rainbow, especially now that, of course, my dad has passed, every time I either see a rainbow or I see light parting through clouds, if y'all have ever seen like a beam of light just parting through the clouds and it looks like this direct message straight to you, I always think about my dad. I think about my ancestors now, and it brings me closer to that connection that we have with this light, this energy that is always there for us. And when we take a chance and we can see that beauty and we can take a moment out of this busy, crazy world and notice that, that's kind of our message. And I wanted to choose the doves and the clouds and things to be that message, that energy and that feeling of calmness and stillness that you get when you really think of the greatness that comes with someone reaching that other side. And of course, a lot of times we're very selfish individuals. We want that person for us. We want that person to be there, in a physical sense for us. But we have to imagine that this beautiful setup is exactly what we all want, exactly what we all aspire to, and exactly what that spirit deserves to have. And that's that peace, that beauty, that thing that we can only make these images up about and imagine how beautiful it is. So we get to celebrate that. We get to do our best to make a visual of that experience, and that's what we're here to do today. All right. Okay, so sorry, got a little emotional on y'all too. But y'all know how we do. We're real around here. So we're going to give it to you like it really is. All right, so I really love these colors. And then a design that I'm doing later in this session for the client is a different color scheme. So I will show you how to change these colors up, okay? Let me go ahead and give her this link too so she could go ahead and join us as well. Y'all know I'm not good at multitasking, so give me just a second. And yes, absolutely. Jelania, and let me know if I'm saying your name incorrectly. This would work with men also, and this is the thing too. We're about to do a man's image right now, and I'll show you if there are things that don't really work. You make them whatever the visual needs to be. So if the visual needs to be, okay, I want dark colors. The one that we're going to do later is going to be like a navy blue and black theme. And then whether you want or don't want the rainbow or the doves or the clouds, you turn those features off depending on what your clients want, okay? So we're going to get to building on that. All right, awesome. So I got your name right. That's good. Okay. Sorry, I'm smacking. I haven't eaten all day, and I want to go ahead and get y'all online. So I took a little bite and get a sip of my water, and then we're going to move on. Okay, so let's go ahead and start bringing in our image here. So I'm going to take our image now, the photo. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it off for a moment so we can just see what everything looks like. And the wings will be here, but you don't have to use the wings. You can turn those on and off. I have some people that like the wings, some people that don't like the wings. And either way that goes, you just use it accordingly. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring in our photos. Let's go here. 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna bring in 4 photos. I think this is going to be the one for the front. Yeah. These are some beautiful photos, E. Thank you so much for sharing this with us too, and allowing this to be a teachable experience. One, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that white is going to be the one for the front. Oh yeah, that white looks good. And your cousin's such a handsome one. Oh, this looks so beautiful and so peaceful. I love it. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's do a couple of things here. Honestly, most of the time I would actually like change the colors to match the wings or the background, but I kind of like this cream color because it goes with our, I want to say this is like a sherbet kind of colorway, and we have some corals, some kind of light and golden yellows, a little bit of blue, of course. Well, not a little bit, but a good amount of blue, but a soft blue. So all of those colors are giving me sherbet vibes, and I like the cream that goes with that. But if you want to lighten it up, and if you want the jacket to be more white, then let me know and I'll brighten that up for you. But I kind of like the cream there. I'm going to add a layer mask on here, and we're going to fade this off. So let me turn off the text for a moment so I can show you what fading the image off does. Okay, so let's do our paintbrush. We're going to go to our photo, and of course we created a layer mask here. I'm going to grab a brush of about 900 pixels, and you can actually type 900 up here. And if y'all want to, if we do this one for a class, then of course, you know, I'll walk you through all these steps. Let's do the hardness, should be all the way to 0. So that means it's a completely soft brush. And then I'm painting on the layer mask, and I'm just fading off the bottom there. You see how much more convincing that is as far as making it look like an art compilation versus just random images that are cut off at these different edges and kind of leave us feeling like something is, you know, something's wrong, something needs to be fixed. All right, so I'm going to take the other 3 images, and we're going to do, we're going to put them behind the wings. And then we're going to go ahead and turn them on, turn the eyeballs on so we can see them, and kind of figure out our placement before we go any further. And I might do some of them kind of on this, or 2 of them on the sleeve, kind of more watermarked. We'll just see when we get there. The red there, and then what are we wearing in this one? Is that, I think that actually has navy blue. So these 2 here, I really like this image too with the glasses. This looks nice. So let's take the image with the glasses. Let's bring it in front of everything. See how that looks. And of course we're going to fade this one off too. So let's do a layer mask. Let's grab our paintbrush here. And let's kind of fade that off and see how we have that shoulder kind of cut off too. Let's fade that off as well. All right. And depending on where we do our image here, or our text here, I may or may not have to change where that goes. So we'll see in just a moment. Let's see, we have 2 photos here. And I'm just debating a little bit whether I want the photos to be like full opacity, or if I want them to kind of be faded off a little bit. And I'm going to Control T, and I'm just going to turn this one just a little bit so we get more of straight standing pose. Let's bring our text back now just to see how much we need to accommodate that. And then I can take this little bling right here. Where is that bling? A little bling right there. I'm gonna put it right there. There's a little earring right there or something. Let's do Control T, and I'm going to turn it a little bit so it won't be directly going across his face. And we'll just bling that earring out right there a little bit. All right. And I kind of want these images in the background to be about the same scale. So I'm just resizing it a little bit. I'm looking at the size of the faces, and I do my best to kind of make sure that I have the scale at least very similar when I'm trying to balance my images out. And then I'm also being very aware of making sure nobody's face is hanging outside of this dotted line here. My face and my text, I want to ensure that I don't have anything hanging out just in case it happens to get cut off. I want to be better safe than sorry. All right, so it looks like my heart is showing there. And of course, want to make sure all my text is safe inside of my dotted line area. So I'm going to pull that up a little bit too, so we don't lose anything important. Hey, you always catch me eating. Whenever I am eating. I remember one time I was in class and I thought I put my little thing on mute, and I was eating the Oreo, and I think it was one of them thin crispy Oreos because I don't like the regular ones. It had too much cream in it. So I was the thin, crispy ones that are real loud. And I popped one of them things in my mouth and she thought it was one of the students and she was about to say something. It was me. So you always catch me, girl. You always keep me on my toes. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. So let's see here. I want to do a global color thing. Let's see, global color. So I'm going to take the color that I already have set up for the clouds in the background here. This is before I started making up my little smart colors. So let me see, a little gradient here. Let's double click on the gradient. Yep, so this was a gradient that I created. I'm going to hit new here and say okay, and we're going to cancel that. And I wonder, did I just turn this gradient off or no? Let me see here. Okay, this was a red gradient that I put on here. So I'm going to get rid of all of this extra stuff because now that I have discovered and or created, invented, whatever you might say, smart colors. Basically, I want to continue to use them in a way that makes the design process a lot easier for you. So I'm going to do a color overlay of black on this, and you're going to see what I'm doing in just a moment. Let me go ahead and rasterize that layer style. So that's going to be all black. Everything's going to have all black. So I'm going to clear that layer style. And then we're going to rework this. So if y'all like to see how I do the smart color thing, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing right now. So let me clear that layer style. I'll delete that. And if you all notice, a lot of the templates that I make now are much easier to edit because of the whole smart color feature that I try to incorporate for you all. So right now I'm just prepping it for that. So those are my front clouds. I'm going to get rid of that gradient. And then I'm going to clear that layer style. So all my clouds should be looking black and white right now. All right. And then all my flares and blings, I'll leave those in there for you all as individual blings so you can move them around. Okay, the wings are still, they're separate. So it's a left and right wing that you can move them further apart, closer together, depending on your subject image there. And now, I'm going to add like a really wacky color. I usually do like a magenta or a cyan as my background color, just so I can see whenever I'm getting myself into you know, basically printing off of the area. And then for this purpose, I'll go ahead and make my background white. It's easiest to kind of see what's going on. All right, and my rainbow is what it is. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and make a smart color. And the only thing a smart color is, it's just a swatch. It's just a swatch that we're making. Actually, it's an adjustment layer. So I'm going to go here to my adjustment layers and I'm going to do a gradient. You see it already has a gradient selected there. I'm going to go to the one I just created, which is that kind of sherbet color. And I'll say okay. And that is going to be my smart color. I'm going to call this my smart color gradient. And let's see if we can make this magic happen. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to take this smart color gradient and I'm going to duplicate it everywhere that I want to recolor. So for instance, I'm going to alt click and drag here. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn this opacity down all the way down to 0, so you don't see it, but you'll see it here, but it is not visible as far as how it affects the heart. And everywhere that I do this smart color, I'm going to right click and create a clipping mask. Okay, so you'll see that it only is going to apply to those specific areas. All right, so we have that one. I'm going to alt click and drag it down again and make it apply to the middle clouds. And see how it covers up everything until I tell it to create a clipping mask. Okay, so then that happened to the middle clouds. Then I'm going to alt click and drag to, this is just like a little bit of, I'm going to call that fog. So let's create a clipping mask there. Let's call this one fog. It's just like a little bit, if you see just a little bit of color around here. All right, I'm going to do the same thing for the back clouds. Alt click and drag, right click, create a clipping mask. All right, so those are the back clouds, and that's pretty much recoloring the image. But I don't just stop there. What I like to see is I like to switch it up, right? So if this, oh, you know what? I forgot to make this a smart color. I didn't make this a smart color, as a matter of fact. In order for it to be a smart color, I have to make it a smart object, right? So I'm going to right click, convert it to a smart object. Okay, and it's going to take a little bit of time to make it a smart object, and I have to bring back my opacity so that you'll see it in the preview. So let me do that. Let me convert it to a smart object. Okay, now you see the preview. I can bring down the opacity, and I'm going to alt click and drag everywhere that you see the smart color gradient. Now I'm alt clicking and dragging and clipping it to that object. And because it's a smart object, I can make it as many instances as I want of the smart object, but if I change it in one location, it's going to change it in every other location. So I'm just cleaning this up now, getting rid of everything that's not my smart color. And I'm making this like I'm making this as simple as possible. I think y'all will really appreciate this. Okay, so let's turn that one down to 0% opacity. There we go. Now, what I like to do too is I like to kind of switch it up. So let's say my background clouds are going in this direction. What I'll do for my middle ground clouds is I might do Control T. Nope, not to the actual clouds, but Control T to my gradient color here, and then I'm going to change the angle to 180 degrees. That means it's going to flip it. You see how I just flipped that color instead of going with the traditional or the original gradient from orange to the coral to the blue. Now it's going opposite, blue, coral, orange, and it's the same exact smart object. I'm just changing my orientation, so I just flipped it, turned it around. Okay, I'll probably do the same thing here to the fog. To Control T for this one, and maybe I'll just change that one 90 degrees, make it go kind of left to right. Let's see how that looks. And then I have to kind of resize this one because we went from a landscape to a portrait orientation. And it's just making it to where we can see those clouds a little bit better. All right, let's see what else. We have the front clouds here. I might change that orientation. Let's do Control T, and this time I'm just going to rotate it and see what it looks like. You see how it's changing? You see those front clouds changing a little bit there? Just changing my direction. And I can also kind of squish it down a little bit because my front clouds are only right here in this immediate area. So if I shrink this down a little bit, I can make sure that I get all of my gradient presence in that little front cloud area. And then I can flip it. Right, and I'm missing a little bit of blue. I want some more blue back here, so let's go to my smart color. I'll turn off the visibility for that one. Let's go to the smart color in the back. And I'm going to flip this one so that the blue is up top. So Control T. Let's change this to 180 degrees. I see that blue at the top now. And I think I might even make this left to right. Yeah. And I think what I'll do for this one, the smart color, is I'll make this one, instead of left to right, I'll make it right to left. So Control T, I'm going to transform it a little bit. So I kind of get like a crisscross of that blue on the sleeve here and the blue on the cloud here. And this is me just making stuff up. This is not an exact science. I don't want y'all to think that it is. This is me just playing, and I'm showing you how I play. That's it. Just showing you how I play. And then sometimes I have to step away from stuff because I get a little too intense with it. And other times I get it the first time around. Most times I get it the first time around, but it does take me some hours. I'm not finna sit here and lie to y'all and act like it doesn't sometimes take me hours to figure this out. And I think that's why y'all are so protective of me too. And I have to tell y'all thank you, because y'all definitely stick up for me and look out for me when folks are out there doing the most when it comes to either, you know, copying or selling or, you know, doing some unauthorized things with the templates. Y'all stand up for me, and I want to tell y'all I appreciate that, because it is a lot of love and energy that goes into these projects. All right, so I don't know what I had in the beginning. I don't know if I matched it or not, but I know we have something now, so we can go off of that. And oh, I want to recolor the text here with our gradient too. So now we can do this as a gradient. We can do this as a solid color, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But let me take this. Let me see one that I haven't mushed around too much. This one. Let's bring. I'm going to alt click and drag this up to the text. And sometimes I like to color my text each individual line, because many times you'll lose it, if you'll lose the effect if you don't do it that way. So I'm going to right click and create a clipping mask, so it just puts it in our hearts. But then I have to change my effects here in order to allow this to show through. I need to go to my blending options, turn on the top one that says blend interior effects as the group. And this is usually what I do. I honestly don't know what all of these do independently. I just play with them as I need to, but I know this does what I need it to do. So I'm going to copy this layer style here, and I'm going to paste it for the word forever. And I will also paste it for our first name, or our name here. Let's paste it for both of those, paste layer style. All right, so this way, whenever we bring our smart color here and we right click, create a clipping mask, it should recolor the text accordingly. So I'm going to do it in another one, right click, create a clipping mask, and see how it recolored that text there. Same thing here. I'm going to alt click and drag, and I'm going to create a clipping mask, and that recolored the forever. And I think with forever, I'm going to increase the stroke just a little bit. Makes that text a little bit thicker there. Let's bring that down to maybe 25. and bring our gold out a little bit more. That will be our third stroke. So we made the white 25, then I will make the gold maybe 38 so we can see it. All right. And let's see what's going on with this recoloring here. That was on 16. We're going to take that down to maybe 9. And the blend mode is on normal. See, I might even make it black to make it pop out. There we go. All right, so let's copy that layer style, and then I'm going to paste it here. Let's paste that layer style. Let's see how that does. It make the pop? Yeah, it makes the text pop out a little bit more. And then I need to scale it because on our skinnier, smaller text, that outline is a little too heavy. So I'm going to adjust it. So instead of 9 here, maybe I'll do 5. I'm just arbitrarily changing this stuff. Instead of 25, maybe I'll do 18. And then here for the gold, instead of 38, maybe I'll do 29. And that looks a little bit better to me. All right, now as far as the gradient goes, so the gradient is stretching all the way from the left to the right side of the artboard. For our smart color, I think we can do a little bit better. So I'm going to select each of those smart colors and do Control T, and I'm going to kind of squish them in a little bit. Because what I want to see is I want to see that range of colors touch all of this text here. Now, if you ever see that when you do your smart colors, if it's not recoloring everything and you see a little box, it's because you need to stretch that out to make sure that you cover all your text. Okay, so I think that works right now. All right, so and some of you are saying I love the black, and that's excellent because the next design that we're doing, Lele, we're going to do the black and navy blue and white for you. So that's actually what we're about to get into right now. So I hope y'all appreciate these smart colors, just like I hope y'all appreciate the magic tile template, all of that good stuff. I promise y'all, the more that I teach, the better that I become at creating resources for you all, because I'm always trying to figure out what makes it simpler for you, what takes up less of your time, which makes it easier and less intimidating to work with Photoshop, because I want y'all to get good with Photoshop. I want you to see that basically there are no limitations with Photoshop. So it's making me become a better teacher just by knowing what you all need and better preparing myself to teach you all. Okay, so I think, let me know what you think. Let me change the colors here. I guess I can put the smart color on the date as well. I'm trying to make this one an easy one. Y'all know normally I have a million different ways you can change colors, a million different ways you can combine things. And right now I'm working on making these templates look like so dynamic, but just giving you a few options to change out, where you're literally spending 10 minutes or less on the design, and then you can get to business. Okay, because I understand what we really want to be doing here is working with our customers, satisfying our customers, but at the same time saving some of our energy, because we put a lot into this stuff. And I do to keep that in mind for you all. Awesome. Lisa says she's loving that magic tile template. Good deal. I promise y'all that came to me in a dream, trying to figure out how we were going to do those Oliver press classes that that I was doing, and I was trying to avoid having to spend more time on doing the mathematics of how we're going to, you know, push each thing over and print it and then come back to it. I wanted a way that that y'all could focus on the art, focus on the customer, and the work. The work is going to do what the work does. Awesome. So another thing that I like to make sure that I do is that it works for a 13 by 19 as well. So a lot of you always wonder how I do that process, and y'all are going to see that now. Let's see. I don't think I have a layer mask on this one already, so let me open up my layer mask file. What class was that? Was that class number 110? 110 when we did the layer mask. And I still need to update these layer masks for y'all because I think I did some new ones. Let me see. I think I did one. So I haven't updated all of these. Is the heart one on here? Don't think my heart one is on here. So yeah, I need to update this one for y'all. So let me find my other grunge. I think it's grunge mask. It takes forever to try to find all these files. I have a million files, probably 2 million files. And it takes a little while to search through them. Let's see.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so I think, is this that's the old one or the new one? That's the old one. Let's see here. I have 3 different versions of it now, so I've been updating. I'm trying to get the most recent one for you. Okay, this one with the hearts? Yes. Okay, so this is my more recent one. So let me rename this. Save as. Let me save this one as the new grunge. Yes, Rona, to get the updated grunge file, you will have to download it again. All right, so this one has a few more extra ones on here. And there are some more that I need to add, at least a couple more that I know. I had one where I did some butterflies and something else that y'all asked me to do. So let's see, for this one, let me see which mask I want to do for this one. I use the clouds ones a lot for that type of design, but I want to do something different because if y'all collect the templates, I want y'all to have different elements in each one. So that's my clouds one. And let's see, let me do something a little bit different. I like the paint strokes one. I've been feeling a lot lately because it looks very artistic. So I think I'm going to go with that one. So I'm just literally going to drag and drop it onto my artboard here. And I'm going to pull it all the way to the front. And when I do Control T to transform it, it's a 13 by 19 orientation, but it's not exactly going to be a 13 by 19 quite yet until we make it that. So all I'm worried about doing is making sure that I cover my grounds. I'm making sure that the majority of my artwork is going to be hitting within these areas. And if I have a little bit, like, see how my doves are popping out a little bit? I actually like that. I like that when I have a layer mask that there's something that pops out, whether it's a photo or part of the text or something that that lets me know, hey, this is sublimation, this is not vinyl, and you can kind of go as crazy as you want with it. So now that I have this in place, I see what I like. I'm going to go ahead and control click on this thumbnail here. So that's selected all of these active pixels, and you can't tell, but there are some areas. Let me zoom in a little bit. Control plus a couple times. I think I'm zooming in on my computer. All right, so you see some transparent areas here, and I just want y'all to understand that look up here, my brother just brought me some hash browns and eggs, so I got a little quiet and distracted for a moment. All right, so you see right here where it's a little transparent. When I select control and I click on the thumbnail, it's going to take into account not just the active pixels, like where there's ink, where there's not ink, if you think of it that way. It's also taking into account the transparency of those areas. So it's only going to pick up the full color where it's, you know, fully opaque, and then in some of these transparent areas it's picking up like 50% of those pixels in that area. So let me show you what that means. I'm going to go ahead and turn off this layer here now, right? And we still have these marching ants here, we still have these pixels selected, and then I'm going to go down to, let's call this, I'm going to create a background folder. All right, so the background folder will have all of the clouds, the background clouds, and then I'm going to label this background. Oh, what am I spelling? Background. What's going on? Background, right? And I'm going to create a layer mask with these active pixels. So I'm just going to hit layer mask here. Okay. All right. Do you see what it did? It kind of cut these pixels without deleting anything. So that's what your layer masks do for you. That's why they're so special. That's why you want to keep them, you know, in your life. And if I want this layer mask to also affect the clouds down here at the bottom, which in this case I might not want it to, I'm going to take these clouds at the bottom, my front clouds. I'm going to control T with my smart color. So let me control T with the smart color attached, and I'm going to shrink them in a little bit, because I like, see how it looks like the clouds are kind of, oh, I kind of pushed a little too far there, but see how you have the grunge mask there, but I have my clouds just kind of sticking up here, and it just adds a little something extra there. All right, makes it look like my text is kind of just floating on those clouds, and then the clouds kind of pop out a little bit. But if I want my clouds here to also clip within this layer mask, I'm going to group that. So we'll call this the front clouds. And I'll call it the front clouds group or folder. Okay. So on the front clouds folder, I can take my layer mask from the background. I can alt click and drag it to my front clouds folder, and then all of a sudden I also clip the front clouds, which I don't think, oh, that's still my background. That's my background. Where are my front clouds? There you go. So I can turn my front clouds off just to make sure. And now my front clouds, believe it or not, are actually clipped inside of this frame here. All right, and that is the beauty of a layer mask. It can act as like your barrier, your borders, your frame to your artwork. So this layer mask, a layer mask can be what you want it to do. You can make a layer mask for the entire shirt. If I wanted to do that, I would group absolutely everything, and I'm talking about everything. I would take it from top to bottom, And you may want to do this. I create layer masks for different elements because sometimes, like I said, my text, I might want to pop out, or let's say this layer mask, it has some transparency issues, right? So if right here on the edge, it has like that little feathering, I don't want it to feather off my text. I want my text to be good and strong and opaque. And then I want the feathering off to be on the background. So I choose not to mask off an entire image, but let me show you what that would look like. I'm going to group everything. That's all my art. And if I call this the art folder. Now I've done this before to make it really simple. So I'll just call this the art, right? And then if I take the same layer mask from the background, I'm going to literally click on it, Alt, and Alt clicking and dragging is just creating a duplicate, right? And then I'm going to put it on the entire art folder. And you'll see what I'm talking about, whether it affects the text. Okay. So I can disable it. And I think I did a good job of keeping my text inside here, but do you see how it affected everything? I'm going to go ahead and enable it again. See how my doves get kind of clipped inside of that now, so I can't tell that my doves are in a heart. So this is why I don't have a layer mask over the entire image, because some elements I want to pop out. See how the doves are popping out of the mask just a little bit? It's a matter of preference, and it's a matter of how complicated or simple you want your work to be. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm bringing my smart color gradient to the top, because the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to change our color theme and of course the text and everything. Okay, so this is what makes it a 10-minute template. Once I kind of combine all the elements and get the look that we wanted to have, let me see if I like that smart color, filling up the black there. There we go. All right. All right. So let's see, Lisa. Okay, here, yeah, for the template. So I had some of you say that you wanted to do this one for class. And if you want to do this one for class, if you are a member that's going to open up, like let's say you're opening up 130 because you're so far into the courses that we'll do this one as, let's say, class number 131. And if you're going to open it up, then just wait and it will naturally open for you for free. If let's say you just started in the academy, right? And you want to pay ahead of time to access the course, then use your coupon code, because normally I sell templates for $20 on the website, but I give you all an advantage in the academy by letting you use your coupon code, and you're either ending up paying $7.50 if you want to get it early. If you're a $60 member, and you end up paying $9.90 if you are a $30 member. So if you want to unlock it early, now if you just wait, they will, as long as you're a member, you're going to unlock one class every 7 days. So depending on how long you've been a member, it will tell you how long it will take for that to unlock for you. Okay, so so basically we have free resources, we have discounted resources, and then of course if you're not a member, then we do have the resources a la carte. So you can just buy one class with the template, or a lot of people are purchasing this split file template, the magic tile template, where it takes it from an all over design, splits it into 13 by 19, and you can export those files and print them up and paste your 13 by 19 sheets together. So that one is an a la carte type of purchase, but if you're a member, you can use your 67% off or 75% off code. So as always, we're doing things all the time to give you all these really beneficial resources that not only help you grow your business, but also give you these opportunities to save money here and there if you're a member. So we do look out for the members, as well as just offering the resource as a one-time file that you can purchase. All right. Okay. And y'all, this is Erica's cousin. This is one of the recent deaths that she's experienced in this past like very short period of time. And I'm just gonna offer my most sincere condolences to you, E. I know you're a strong person. I know this one has hit you really hard. Last one was Granny. It hit you really hard. You had Granddad right before that hit you really hard. Cousin before that hit you really hard. Another cousin before that hit you really hard. And we're just here to tell you that we appreciate you. We love you. We're praying for you. We know that this is, you know, it's got to be some of the hardest times just in general, but we appreciate your tenacity, all the toughness that you show. I know it breaks sometimes, but we're here for you when that toughness does break. And even when you still show it, we're still here for you. Okay, love, we love you and we appreciate you. Yes, my love. So before I change this up, I just wanted to acknowledge that. I wanted you all to know that that things really do, they come full circle around here. It really is heartfelt. It really is real energy that you get from us. I just happened to be working on this template today, and she just happened to reach out to me today and let me know what happened yesterday. And we're always going to be a godsend to one another, regardless of what's going on in our lives. And she's definitely been a godsend to me. One of the very first templates I ever made was a template that we stayed up to 2 a.m. making sure that she got what she needed for her cousin. And ever since then, she's told me that anything I needed, that she's got me, and she has not lied. She's had my back throughout this entire process, and this has been a blessing and an honor to be able to help you out right now. And we love you. All right, so I'm gonna leave her alone before I get her all choked up and all that good stuff. But I just want to speak my little piece. I'm over here trying to hold back my emotions right now. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take off the layer mask. I'm gonna disable it so we can kind of bring back our background. There we go. Then I also happen to have one right here on those clouds. Now, if you would just happen to leave this on, you can kind of see it right here a little bit. It won't hurt you, but I'm going to disable that one too, because I don't want to have the layer mask on unless I really need it, because I wanted those clouds to kind of pop out there. Absolutely, anytime. Okay, so we got that one. We got Forever in Our Hearts. I'm gonna make sure I'm saving because your girl's been tripping. I haven't saved this whole time. Let me hit Control S to save. And go ahead and close out of that one. I'm gonna keep my new grunge mask, and I'll close out of this one because the more Photoshop files I have open, the more resources it uses up. So I'm going to save on that one. And then before I finish this out, I wanted to show you all, we can use, like a lot of people like to use images, watermark. Well, you know what? This one has a lot going on, so I won't watermark images in this one. But I will show you how you can take down, the opacity. You can turn off different layers. So let's say I want to turn off my doves. That's my heart doves. I can turn it off. I can turn off the heart cloud behind it. So if you see, there are a lot of layered elements here. And then if I want to turn off my rainbow, I have that option too. So you can combine these. It can look like different templates, different designs, just as much as you build up or take off. And I also want you to think about it as the doves and the clouds could also be like an anniversary or a wedding or something. It doesn't have to always be remembrance. just because you see those elements all put together. So I want you to recognize how you can use these resources over and over again. Okay, so this one's good. I'm going to go ahead and save this one as is. Let me see my wings. You can move them, you can resize them if you need to. I kind of want to make sure they fit there. There we go. And I need to pull it a little bit more to the left. Trying to make sure that I make it on the shirt. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and save. Control S. I'm going to save that. So yeah, for this one, I'm going to make sure that all of these layers are included. And then you can kind of play with it and see what you want to turn off and on. We're going to do that in class. That'll be, I guess that'll be 425 is today's class. Next class will be May 2nd. So we'll do this one for May 2nd. So y'all hold tight. If you really, really, really need this, I can make it available and you can purchase it ahead of time. But if you can wait until this upcoming Sunday, then we'll do it as a class, and that'll definitely save you some money. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and let's work on changing out the colors now. So this one we're gonna do for Lele. Let me make sure I have all your images, babe, and ready to go. And my condolences for your loss as well. I know, you know, even if it's for your clients, it takes a little energy, a lot of energy out of us too. So I just want to offer you hugs and good vibes and good energy. And I know that this is going to mean a lot to the loved ones of these beautiful spirits. So this one is going to be a collection of images too, but just different people. So we're going to use the same concept here. I'm going to go to my photos here. And I forgot there were some little blings on here. So if you go to your flares and blings, if you want to move those around, you have individual little blings here that you can move just that bling, or you can alt click and drag. And if you alt click and drag, it makes a copy of that bling and you may place it somewhere else. So I can alt click and drag and I got me a different bling. Alt click and drag. I can bring a bling down here. And I might even bring my blings in front of the clouds. Let's see. Let's bring it in front of those front clouds. There my blings go. There we go. All right, so I forgot y'all have those elements too. So this one will be one that you get to do a good deal of work with. Okay, so for this one I have the photos here. If I select a layer and then I bring images in, let me go ahead and pull these two into the photos folder, but behind the wings. So let's put the wings right there in front of those photos. There we go. All right, so this is what it looks like. And I mean, not all the time we want to have multiple images or that sort of thing, but you just know that you have something to work with here. All right, so this particular one, I'm just going to call this our text here. Double click and I'll call that text. I'm going to get rid of the other text because I've already optimized this text to work with the smart colors. So this will be a lesson in how we're going to change this out. I guess this would put us on top of class for next Sunday, which I never prepare my classes early because I'm always making something for you all fresh for Sunday classes. All right, so we have the text here. I'm going to create a duplicate just so that I can show you what this is going to look like when we switch up the color scheme and the text itself. So this one, And I'm going to go back to my notes here. Okay. We're going to put the text on here as gone but not forgotten. Okay. And this one is not going to have names, so I'll take the names off. And I meant to tell y'all too, I have some layers on here where you can change the hue and saturation of the just the reflection that's on the doves and the clouds here. Right now I have the saturation just brought down if I want it completely grayed out, but it has like a little purplish kind of tint to it. You can move that depending on what color you kind of want the sky to be and what reflects off the sky. So that's a little option there for you too. And we'll see about that when we turn it to the navy blue and black mode. So I'll show you how we can kind of make these clouds go with the color scheme as well. Let's turn off the name layer. And instead of forever in our hearts, we're going to do word forgotten here. And then for forever, if I want to see what it says, I can just bring it out here. But I can also just right click on the text and see I see the word forever. I can click there, double click on it, and I'm going to put this one as gone, but not. And see how my recoloring is stopping outside of this area, so I have to shrink my text down, or I would have to bring my recoloring up. And then I'm going to transform this into a 13 by 19 because this is going to be a 13 by 19 print. And I will show you how I do that. Right, and then for forgotten, or I can do gone but not forgotten. Let me know if I need to do this a little different, because I might do not forgotten. See, the thing about it is you kind of have to have balance with the text, so I think maybe I'll do not forgotten instead of the word forgotten. Let's go to the beginning and put not. And then my gone but can be a little bit bigger if I take the word not off here. And this is all a part of your design. Whenever you're changing out the text, it's called typography. It's a whole class of design in and of itself. And it's really based on your preference, what you like to see, what's pleasing to your eyes. And of course, your clients are going to appreciate it too, because you put thought into how the text looks rather than just straight up typing something out, you know, across the shirt, and you don't care what the scale is, you don't care what the font is. I probably spend more time picking out fonts than I do for the majority of the things that I spend time on for a template. So not forgotten. See, I was cutting that color off there. I need to Control T, push it in a little bit. I like when my text overlaps because it makes me feel like it's giving a little bit of, you know, layer. But you don't, like, some people don't like the text touch, and you absolutely have that ability to move these things around. So I'm just nudging it up with my arrow key right now, just nudging it with the up arrow. There we go. And so I'm barely overlapping there, but I have a little bit of overlap. Okay. So I have a total of 6 images to bring in here. And oh, did I turn my rainbow off? Where's my rainbow? Yep, I turned my rainbow off. I think we want it for this one too. There we go. And we don't have to, Lele, I know your image did not have the doves or the heart cloud. I think it did have a heart cloud on it though. So if you want me to take any of these layers off, just let me know and I will do that to show you how this works. Okay. And because you're doing it live also, I will make sure that I send you the Photoshop file. Now let me get a bite of my eggs real quick. Erica, I'm asking for permission to chew right now. All right, I'm back. I chewed. I think I figured out how to mute the mic. And if I didn't, my bad for y'all hearing my jaw popping and clicking over here. All right, yes, I'm going to do save dance. Thank you, I appreciate it. Control S or file save to make sure that you're saving these changes as we go. All right. All right, and Layla's good with the doves and the clouds. Perfect. You're making candy apples. All right. Good stuff. All right. So the colors are black. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show y'all overall what the smart color really does. So let's double click on the smart color. I'm going to do a solid color now instead of the gradient. So I'm going to add a solid color. My solid color is going to be black. Okay. And then we're going to see how everything updates. All right, so if you all wanted to go with the black and white theme, that's it, like ready to go. Also, there's the rainbow still on there, the gold still on there. And let me see, did my text recolor? Let me make sure my text, oh, the text didn't recolor because I have my stroke on and not my color overlay. All right, so let's see, the blend mode is on normal and I'm filling with the stroke here. And I'm going to go ahead and leave that alone for right now, but I can just change my stroke color to, most of the time we're going to do black. So I'll change it to black. Let me double click on the FX here. And let's change the stroke color to black. There we go. So then that stands out. All right, but we said we were probably going to do what? Black and navy blue, maybe even some light blue. So let's see what that looks like. So we'll double click on our smart color again. We know what it looks like with the black. I'm going to duplicate this gradient here. Turn off the other colors. And this one, I'm going to make my own gradient. So for the blue, I'm going to keep that. For the yellow over here, I'm going to make it black. And then I'm going to just delete that coral color in the middle. I have a blue, but then I want a navy blue. I want a navy blue and a light blue. So I'm going to come here to the color and I'm going to choose more of a navy blue. Okay, so now I have navy blue to black exactly, but if I wanted just a little bit lighter blue, I can create another color stop here, and I'm gonna make it like a lighter blue here. Now let's just see how these kind of blend together. It's gonna be something that you can't anticipate exactly, but if I did this right, then whenever we update the smart colors, it's gonna give us a random but very nice complementary design. So let's see, let's watch the magic happen. Meanwhile, I will mute and chew my eggs. All right, so I'm back, and let me know what y'all think. Lele, let me know if this blue and black is what you want, what you need. We can add more of the navy and make it less of the light blue. So let me show you how we would do that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to duplicate this because if you already liked it like that, we're just going to check on another variation. So this one, I'm going to bring that navy blue as more of our main color. Bring the light blue down a little bit. And bring the black back a little bit so we get a lot more of the navy blue as our color. And let's see what that looks like. Let's hit yes to update the smart object, and let's let the magic happen. All right, what y'all think? Lele, let me know if this is the one to keep. And I'm going to go ahead and bring the photos in after I show you all how I can change the little tint of color that's on the heart clouds and the doves. So let's go to our doves. And if you notice, it has a hue saturation layer on top. The saturation is how much of that, how prevalent is that color? How pure is that color? Is it purely saturated, or if you take it all the way down, there's no color at all, it grays everything out. So graying it out might be what you want if you're doing like black and white designs and that sort of thing, but naturally the sky is adding some kind of tint to the birds, right? So what I'm going to do is turn the saturation, it's down from the normal mode is 0. So it's still down a little bit because I felt like it had a little too much color. So I'm bringing it down to maybe 35, but I feel like it's a little purpley. And right now we're going with the navy blue and a little bit of that sky blue. So I'm going to shift my color. That's shifting it towards purple and magenta. Now I'm shifting it away from purple and magenta more into the green area. So it's pulling it closer to a true blue. Right, and then if I wanted it to be completely grayed out and no color at all, I would bring my saturation down to 0. That's graying it out, but I like a little of that tint of color. It makes it look a little more true. Oh, thanks, E. I appreciate my super chat. Y'all are so sweet. All right, so let's try doing the same thing now to the heart. So this heart has it already has a blue tint to it. But if, let's say you didn't want it to have the blue tint, you want it to be more of the gray tones, then I can bring the saturation down and see how the clouds are now gray with no tint of color. Or if I bring the saturation all the way up and I just say, oh, that's just a little too vibrant. It's a little too light of a color. I want a darker color. I can bring down my lightness here, way down dark. It also is darkening the white, so we'll have to change levels if we don't want to darken the lightest colors. And then I can change my hue. So, you know, if you were doing like a purple and pink design, you can change those colors up. I just wanted it to be a little slight blue. Take some of that purple out. I'm going to take my saturation down because I just want it to be a hint of color. I don't want it to be the focal point, because the focal point for me is going to be the photos. And then I'm going to bring my lightness back up. And I brighten that up just a little bit. All right. All right, well, Layla, let's pull in the images there, and then you can tell me what, if you want to change any colors or anything like that, just let me know. And here, you see how the gradient is going left to right? You can change for it going, like a lot of times we do our gradients top to bottom. So let me do that as part of your smart object feature here. So I'm going to duplicate this. This will be for the not forgotten. Let me duplicate it. And I'm going to do Control T to transform it. I'm going to flip it to 0 degrees there. And then I'm going to change the scale here so that it fits. It pretty much gives us the full gradient from top to bottom. I'm just giving my computer a little time to process here. All right, so this one I wanted to go from the light blue at the top to the dark blue and black at the bottom. And I think for this design, because it's more of a monochromatic scheme, it looks better going from top to bottom rather than left to right. But that's just me, and I'm going to go ahead and create this variation for the rest of the text there. And then for the not forgotten, I have to make sure that it's in place for the see, this one is clipping down to the date, and then this one clips down to the gone but. That's a Control T there. And I'm going to turn off the previous color overlay, that smart color. And this is the same, like I said, smart colors are just instances, or the smart objects are just instances of the same thing. So what I've done is I manipulated that gradient so that now it's going from top to bottom instead of left to right. And then you'll have that option. Let's do the same thing for the name here. There we go. All right, so that'll be in place for the name. should you choose to use it. So let's do Control T. I'm going to make sure that this covers the name completely, top to bottom. There we go. Oh, geez, Louise E. I see you sent me another one. Girl, thank you so much. You are a doll. I appreciate you so much, love. All right, so let's start bringing our images in now. Let's see here. I think I might have moved this instead of, I did. I think I moved it instead of creating a copy. So I'm about to correct that right now. Here we go. And I'm going to go ahead and do this save dance before I lose anything important. All right. So let's go ahead and start pulling our images in so we can see about how we're going to do placement. Now, of course, with this type of design, you can use multiple photos or just a single photo. So I'm going to bring in photo 1. I'm going to show you how I'm bringing them in too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 I have to clean up a little bit, and then 6. Oops, that's not the right one though. I need the PNG version of 6. There we go. And then I'm going to have to press enter for each one that I pull in. And my silly self, I'm supposed to have the photo layer selected when I brought them in. But what happened was I ended up breaking up my clipping mask for my gradient to my text. So I'm going to have to fix that. And that's usually why I tell you when you bring in your photos, just bring them in. Bring them in while you have the current photo layer selected. That way it puts it in the same place every single time, because now I just kind of messed up my clipping mask, which it's really easy to fix, but a lot of you will run into that issue and then you'll be wondering what happened. And basically you broke that link. Let's change this to photos 2. Oh, let's make these. All right, so these are Lele's photos. We're going to go ahead and turn that on. And then all right, and then we won't need wings, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the wings off of this one. Let's see, have I ever tried Supercolor? I think it's Supercolor with an A. I haven't tried it yet. I said I was going to try it. I believe that I signed up to even be a vendor. So I have to check that out. If y'all want me to review that, let me know. If y'all want me to review the Supercolor and how they might work with the templates, especially being that we do, you know, some pretty intense designs. I think it still has to have a vector kind of mask on it so that it has a clean area to stop printing. So I don't think it's going to do like your faded off edges like we're used to doing with sublimation. But I can definitely check that out if y'all are interested in it. I've had it for a little while and never used it. All right, so first of all, I have to clean up this area around her hat. I use Remove BG to get rid of some of the, well, get rid of the background. And for some reason, it does a little bit better than Photoshop for me. But sometimes Photoshop will do it well. It just has to be a high resolution image. And if you don't have high resolution images, it will kind of cost you a little more work to do it in Photoshop. So I'm thinking these are 3 images. But each person twice. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. I'm doing Control T to transform the size of the graphics, and then we're going to play with the layout. This is a really pretty picture here. And then I may have to move my bling so that they're not in anyone's face. And right now, it's just a matter of just playing with things. So I'm playing with the placement, the size, just doing Control T to transform. And then I'm resizing and just moving things around here. And then once I get my placement in order, I'll know maybe what I need to fade off, what I need to kind of hide some other things. Like for instance, I have the shoulder here that's cut off. I may fade it off, or I may just use another image to place beside it to kind of make up for that. All right, and there's one more photo here. I'm going to put that one on top. And put this one in the center. Okay, and then see how this one has the arm cut off on the side here. So I'm going to use another photo. See, where's the gentleman? So this will be the back photo. This will be the front photo. So I'm going to use this image here because his shoulder is cut off there. Then I'll use this photo over here and right, and I'm just literally just playing with placement right now. Nothing scientific about it. I'm just playing around and seeing, do I want the images to kind of be 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, or do I want to switch it up a little bit? And then I can also do, now this one I can do the like the one, maybe the main image is full color, and then on the sleeve areas and in the background of the heart, maybe we can do the faded off version of it. So let's change the opacity and see if that even works. Oh, this is going to be for 13 by 19, so I have to be aware of that too. All right, so that is what, 42% opacity. We're just going to play with that right now, see if that's what we want. And then I do see also that I have a little bit of her hair cut off at the top here. Let me see if I can do something about that. Now, I'm not always able to do this, but a lot of times if I do a live session for you all, I'll put a little extra, well, a lot of extra effort into it. So let's do our image canvas size. I'm going to make the canvas a little bit taller. So I'm going to anchor it down here to the bottom and make the height maybe 18 instead. And let's see what I can do to give us like some texture up here to the top of the head. So I'm going to kind of take maybe some texture from here. Let's copy that and paste it. I have a little piece here. Control T. I'm going to kind of transform it a little bit. All right, and then let me create a layer mask. I'm going to fade it off just a little bit to see if I can blend it into the hair. So I'm making my brush small, but still a little fuzzy brush here. And I'm going to paint with black because black conceals and white reveals. And it's giving me a little bit of a delay, so I wasn't seeing what it was doing here. All right, so I'm going to Control T, and this time I'm going to distort it. So I can kind of pull it however I want and kind of push it around, pull it around. I'm just going to do my best to make it look like I have some texture up there, and that is not just the edge of a photo. Let's duplicate this layer now. And then I'm going to Control T. I'm going to transform it and flip it horizontal. So now I have it kind of going this way. And maybe keep that part there. And of course, I'm going to need to transform this one too. So let's go back to Edit, Transform, and Distort it. And I'm going to pull on it a little bit until I get it where I want it to be. And it's a little bit darker than it probably should be on this side, but I think this still works. If I want to recolor it, let's do solid color overlay. And I'm going to right click and create a clipping mask. And I want it to be like this lighter brown rather than that dark color. So let's see if I can get this to work. Double click on this blue. I'm going to grab that brown color instead. And the blend mode that I'm going to use here, let's see if I can use color. Color. Let's use color, and then I'm going to bring the opacity of the color down just a little bit. It kind of blends a little bit better. There we go. And I'm just going to fade that off a little bit to layer mask, and I think that looks all right. All right. Take everything and merge those layers down. And let's see if the magic looks better. There we go. That looks better. So it doesn't look like the photo is just cut off at the top there. All right. And I can actually flip the photo here. Let me do Control T. Let me flip it horizontal so that oh, did it flip it? There it goes. So I want it to look like these two are looking opposite. And then we have our matriarch in the middle. And now I have to fade off the bottom of this photo because we got some hard cut lines here. So let's do a layer mask. Grab our paintbrush. Make sure that our default black is selected here. If we don't know, then we're going to choose our default swatches, switcheroo, to get the black in the front. And then I'm going to change my brush size. I'm hitting Control, Alt, and then dragging the mouse left to right at the same time. And then I'm just going to fade that off there. There we go. Same thing with the the photo of the young gentleman here. Let's do a layer mask. We have our paintbrush selected. I'm on the layer mask, and I'm going to fade this one off down here too. And then I'm going to make his image just a little bit smaller because I'm trying to match up the face sizes a little bit. There we go. And I need to go to my move tool because that was a warning that I was trying to use the brush tool on something I shouldn't have. Now let me do this save dance. Control S. And give that a little time to save there. All right, so it looks like everything's saved here. And let's see what we're going to do to the images. Let's lay them out as if we're going to have them full color. So let's go to opacity 100%. I'm going to go ahead and make sure everything's faded off and looks good. So Layla, if you can let me know what you want to see as far as like the layout. Do you want them to be in the same order? You want me to switch it up or anything like that? I kind of have it arranged now left to right with the same subject images like right behind one another. So I'm going to go ahead and fade off this photo. Same thing with the paintbrush, black selected. I'm just using my brush tool to fade off the outside edge of the photo there. And I turn off the other layers just so I can see better what I'm fading off. Now this one I need to clean up around the cap, the hat, because the brim got cut off on the Remove BG. So I'm going to fix that with my pen tool here. All right, and then I'll make that a selection, 1 pixel there, and then I'm going to just go ahead and delete those pixels there. And that looks better. Let's go ahead and save that, and it will update in our main file here. Perfect. Let's go ahead and fade off the bottom of this image too. I'm on the layer mask. I have my black paintbrush here, and I'm just lightly brushing it across the edge of the image to just get rid of those hard lines. There we go. All right, so now we can bring back our other images and see how everything layers here. All right, I'll see you at class, 6 o'clock. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move this bling off the face here. And off the face here. There we go. And I'm going to take these photos, group them, and see what it looks like if we make them black and white. Gotcha. Okay, so she's a mother and grandmother. All right, I figured that. So let's do a little black and white on the background photos just to see what that kind of looks like. We're going to right click and create a clipping mask so it only affects the photos. And then if we want to, this is where I was saying we could play with the opacity. And because these are the lower quality images, maybe we can make them a little transparent here. Yes, Annette, the best shirts that I feel are best as far as cost wise, and if you plan on doing all over pressing on them, are the jerseys 21Ms for men and 21B for youth. They have a really kind of lay flat seam under the armpits, and it does really well for all over presses. But I've also used the Subla shirts. They do the worst with the pressing under the arms and straightening that out, but for 13 by 19 prints they do really well. The Vapor shirts are great quality, but they are a heavier shirt, heavier weight shirt, and they tend to be a lot more expensive than the jerseys. So whereas you might be able to get a jersey shirt for around $4, the Vapor shirt is going to be around $6. So just depending on how much you're doing sublimation and all of that good stuff, you have those different options available to you. But 21M is my go-to. That's what I stock up on personally at the house. All right, so let's see, this image here, it's a little off scale, being a little big. So I'm going to get these faces to around about the same size. And my problem here is that kind of lose a little bit of that image because it's a very short image. Okay. Yep, even for 13 by 19, your 21M is going to be a good shirt. Very good shirt. I deal with them a lot of the times, and the only reason I use the Vapor shirts right now is if the 21Ms are out of stock in a certain size, or I'm doing the 4X and 5X. The Vapor shirts are the go-to shirts for 4X and 5X. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get this one ready to take down to the 13 by 19. Of course, we already set that up, so we just have to uncover our layer mask here for the background. See what that looks like. And then I'm going to turn off the white background just so I see this kind of hot pink back here, just so it can let me know what I'm going to cut off, because my next step is I'm going to save this. But in order to make this a 13 by 19, I have to do a save as, make it a 13 by 19, and then scale it down, because if it's 13 by 19, you don't need it to be this big old all over file. Okay, so let's make it a 13 by 19. We're going to do File, Save As now. Now, Save As means that it's saving a version of this. I'm just going to take off the word all over. All right, so now that I have this saved as the 13 by 19 version, I'm going to go ahead and go to my crop tool. I'm going to tell it that my crop proportion is going to be a 13 by 19. All right. And here I'm just going to scale this down so I make sure that my entire art is going to fit inside of this 13 by 19. I do try to leave a little bit of bleed area on the sides and then the top. All right, I think that's good right about there. I want to make sure I'm not cutting off my doves or any of my little paint strokes there. That looks good. Let me go ahead and hit enter to lock in that crop. And notice I did not have delete crop pixel selected. That means it's going to save any of that data that's outside of the artboard. So if you later, like if you designed it as a 13 by 19 and you later needed to use that same layout to create an all over shirt, you would at least have all of the extra sky and the extra background elements still saved on there. All right, and I'm going to unlink my layer mask. As a matter of fact, let me delete the layer mask for the art because I don't need that on. I just need the layer mask for the background and for the clouds. And I'm just going to recreate that later after I get this adjusted. So I'm going to unlink the background mask because I want to kind of push it around a little bit and make it a little bit taller. There we go. And now I'm going to link it back so that when I move my background, it's going to move with my layer mask. All right, it looks like everything is going to fit on the page here. I can turn back on my background layer. And here, because this is 13 by 19, I may even want to change out my smart colors here. See how wide they are? If I want to see a little bit more of that variation in color. Now, because it's only 13 by 19, I might have to squish it in a little bit. Make my back clouds just a little bit. Oh, yep. Let's make the back clouds a little bit smaller so I can start to see some of these elements in the design. And this is why I tell you all that just because you have something made for an all over, it's not automatically going to just be a 13 by 19 design also. A lot of times I have to tweak my design so that they work for 13 by 19 after I do the all over version. So it takes me a little extra time, but I can make sure that it looks right and it works right for the different functions. And that's my little fog area. My middle clouds. I'm shrinking those a little bit to get that variation in there. And then I have the very top clouds, front clouds here. And I think they're doing very well. There we go. Now because this is a 13 by 19, I actually have a little more space to work with as far as from the top to the bottom. So I can kind of move some of these elements a little bit. Usually I'll move my text down quite a bit because I have more space down here, and it looks like I need to fade off this photo a little bit here. And now I can actually make these photos a little bit bigger since I have more top to bottom space to work with. There we go. And I need to take the dates off of this one, so let me right click on the date here with the move tool, of course. Turn that one off. And it looks like this photo here has a little corner left on it I need to get rid of. See right there, that little sharp corner? I'm betting that it's on this image. Yep, so if I fade that off, there it goes. Alrighty, my love, let me know if this one is good for you, and I can go ahead and send you the PNG as well as the Photoshop version of this one. So maybe you can refer back to this video and play with it and see how you might be able to use this one in the future. Let me save. This is my 13 by 19. And there's one more thing. Let me see. I was thinking of putting like sun rays right here in the middle. Let me see if I have a brush for that. If not, I can make up a sun ray. I think that one can work as a sun ray. Let's see. Let's do a new layer, and I'm going to make it black for right now. Control T, and I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger to see if that works. And then I'm going to recolor it white. So let's do a color overlay. And let's make the color overlay white. And then we're going to put this right behind the front photos, but in front of the back photos, just to kind of give it a little separation. You see that? It kind of gives a little bit of separation there. Just added some little blings there. And I think this will be a good one too. There we go. Alrighty, so this has been a good little session. I'm glad we got a chance to spend some time together today. I need to get ready for our class tonight that begins at 6. So I have a little break before class tonight. If y'all have any questions for me, go ahead and let me know right now. I'll hang out for about 10 more minutes if y'all have questions, need to know anything about the Academy or just in general. Templates, sublimation, Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop and you're looking to purchase it, I have a link, an affiliate link. Any affiliate link that I have does not cost you anything extra, but it does give me a little bit of a commission. So it does help me keep this channel going. So if you can use those, please do. Oh, I know what I was going to do for my doves. I'm going to give them a little drop shadow, make them look like they're popping off the art a little bit. So there's our drop shadow. Let's bring down the opacity a little bit. There we go. Now my doves look like you can tell that they're in a heart there. And then this particular one is right behind Grandma's face. So we're going to grab a soft round brush and just on this layer mask, just fade that one off a little bit so it won't be interfering with her face there. Here we go. I don't have a link for the shirts. Maybe I'll speak with some of the suppliers and see if maybe I can do an affiliate link for them. But I have been referring people to Jiffy shirts. If you go to the Innate Creatives Facebook group, I have a list of or listings of supplies, and sometimes I have an affiliate link for them. And if I don't have an affiliate link, I just tell y'all where y'all can get it from. So Jiffy Shirts has been a popular place. If you have a vendor account with Alpha Broder, Sanmar, TSC Apparel, SNS Activewear, those type of suppliers usually carry the 21Ms as well. But if you don't have, like, you know, the sales and use license, and you don't want to go through setting that up, you can always go to jiffyshirts.com and order them. I believe their supplier is Alpha Broder, because I've actually received a box that said Alpha Broder whenever I've ordered from Jiffy Shirts before, if you order a bulk enough amount. And I think that the prices end up being exactly the same as Alpha Broder, whether you have the account or not. All right, and then I'm going to go back to my all over version of this template because I want to put that drop shadow on the doves. Let me copy this layer style. And then yeah, I really like how the doves look once we put that drop shadow on it. So let's turn back on our white background. Let's turn off of our, I don't want to delete it, just want to disable it, the layer mask here. And let's paste the layer style on the doves, and it just gives it a little hint of a 3D look. All right, so we'll review this template one more time. I'll do a demo for class. I always have to make sure it's like cleaned up and good enough for you all. And I will make this the class for next Sunday. So if y'all are looking forward to this template and you want to work on a project with it, you'll have it, if you're a $60 member, you'll have it for free as long as you attend the live class. And then for those of you who either can attend the live class or, you know, just want to get it early, you don't want to wait for it to unlock for you in the Academy, you can use your coupon code to purchase that at a deep discount. Yes, class is tonight, Nikki. Thank you for asking. Excuse me. It's tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We changed it to 6 now. And the YouTube video's up. As a matter of fact, let's go to... Let's go to the Academy. And Erica, if you will post the link for the Academy, that way people know how to get to it. But you have the live courses, and interactive courses, most of the time my live class will pop up here to the top. I forgot to pull it. I have to manually pull it to the top every time. So for this one, this is the graduation template that we're going to be working on. It doesn't have to be graduation for you. It could be a wedding, it could be anniversary, it could be a retirement, like, or anything. It could be a birthday shirt. It does not matter. I want you to understand that these templates are very, very versatile, and I want you to get used to thinking of them outside the box. But since so many of you are doing graduation, you all appreciated being able to do this graduation type of design. So here it is. If you want to see the video, I did a demo of this, I think Friday. So you have the demo available. If you click on that link, it takes you to the YouTube video. All right, so that was us working on the template there, me talking. All right, so you get to see that too. But of course, we're going to do this live in class. I will work you, I will work you too. I will walk you through each of the steps that you need to complete this. The only thing that you need is to make sure that you have the 2 subject photos. So you're going to have 2 subject photos. It could be your picture of your pet. It could be a graduate. It could be a little baby and a Cookie Monster, whatever it is. 2 subject images, okay, and 1 logo image. So the logo image is going to be, in this case, it's the high school logo. You can make it whatever logo you want it to be. It can even be like a mascot or something. Let's say you wanted to do Cookie Monster, and that was the theme that you were working on for your personal use, of course. Then you can use that as your logo image, and then maybe use the photos for your subject images. That's all I'm asking you to come with. Have it ready in your folder so we're not having to search for it. You're going to just unzip the Innate Academy 130 folder and put your asset images in there. So put your photo number 1, put your photo number 2, and put your mascot image or your logo image in that 130 folder. Okay, that's it. And then the rest of it we're going to work on together. All right, and for those of you who are interested in taking the class, it's $60. If you're not a member of the Academy, if you are a member of the Academy, it is free if you're a VIP member. That means for $60 a month, you get to take any of the live classes that I offer as our regular scheduled time. And if you're a $30 member, then you get 67% off the classes, which give you a good discount for the live classes as well. If you don't need to attend the class live, or if you prefer not to do it live, let's say you prefer to do it after the class is recorded, give it about 24 hours and the recorded version of the class is available, and it will be available at half price. So instead of a $60 class, it will be a $30 class. And again, for my members, if you are already unlocking this level, because you're already unlocking 130 out of, so I believe that would be about 32 courses that we would have so far. And let's say if you just started as a member, you're down to unlocking like 105, 106, 107. That's cool. You will eventually, as long as you are a member, you'll unlock that 130 eventually. But let's say if it's something that you want because it's something that you can use immediately on a project, then just use your coupon code if you're a member and you can unlock it early. Okay, so it's less than $10 if you're a $30 member, and it's $7.50 if you're a $60 member. And I've had people become a member, and just so that they can download all of these different templates and use their coupon code, you know, because I normally sell templates for $20 without the class. But what you get is you get the recorded class plus the template. Okay, so it really is a good deal. I do my best to make sure that I provide you all with some really good resources to get your businesses up and running when it comes to these type of designs. I know they can look a little overwhelming, but we do our best to break them down for you. Okay. All right, loves. Well, I don't see any more questions, and I know some of you are getting ready for a class this evening. And I look forward to seeing you all. I'm going to try to save my voice a little bit so I preserve something for you all. And If y'all have any questions, make sure you contact Erica Kane in the Facebook Creatives group. That's our primary way to be able to help you out. And sometimes you can just post a question there on the tech support feature, and other members will be able to help you out too. So we're a community. We work together, and we pretty much make resources where we can all eat. Okay. All right, so for those of you who don't know, it's about time for my sign off. I appreciate y'all and I love you all dearly. And until next time, bye.